On the side of Rumble Bumblers, we mentioned him in the build-up there, Raziers. He is just an awesome force to be reckoned with. But one dog who has still got a few tricks in the bag is K-Dop, 3 seconds off the kickoff.
Pulling the bunny out of the hat right away. K-Dop opening us up quite well. 3 seconds in, it's a good way to start off for Vitality. I think that's basically them saying, we're here, we're ready to go. We ain't going to make this a long time. We just want to sweep this through and be done with it for today.
Well, it's a statement after not scoring in about 10-15 minutes of game time. I think it was more close to 11 minutes because we had the 11 or 12 minutes because I think Vitality scored their first goal of the series against Suh with about 58 seconds or so left on the clock in game 1. They hadn't scored at all after that. That's their first in probably close to about an hour of real time. Maybe an hour and a half or so. To get one quickly is really good for their mental. K-Dop trying to get a second, and Vitality do have the better in the way of offense and offensive pressure, and that's something that you were criticizing them for earlier for, Spooks.
I was, but so far this looks to be a similar Vitality as we saw that basically won 3 games in a row.
Oh boy.
Against Bumblers, and I don't believe that's going in, but this one for certain will. And that is that follow-up that I was looking for. But do we talk about the pinch we saw before?
I mean, that pinch from, I believe it was from Alpha, or was it Kado, or was it Radisson? One of the Vitality guys who was sitting in net. Didn't quite catch who it was. Oh, Raziers just making the save in the nick of time there. But yeah, that pinch from the goal line to set up that goal was absolutely phenomenal. And it's put Vitality in a 2-goal lead early on here in game number 1. What do Rumble Bumblers have to come back at this one? Oh my goodness. The miss from Vency, and it's 3-0.
It's a bit painful to concede one of these, but I really feel like this is the Vitality you normally look for. It looks controlled, it looks solid, and they look just the better team right now. And that's a simple statement for a game 1, but that's just how good they look after just a minute and a half already. They just look that comfortable, and they should be looking this comfortable.
I think if Rumble Bumblers want to look a bit more comfortable, they need to get Raziers a little bit more involved with the play. He's kind of been a non-factor so far for me. We're only 2 minutes into game number 1. Raziers does clear this one away from K-Dop. And with no boost, he'll be able to, hopefully for himself, and that off to a teammate. Vency came in. Shilla is there for the rebound. The corner will go, and right back to defense will have to go Rumble Bumblers as K-Dop passes into Radosin off the backboard. Where is Alpha? And again, Spooks, that next follow-up from Vitality just isn't there. I know they're 3-0 up, they're playing it safe, but that is indicative of what we've seen so far today.
It really is, and it is something to look forward to hopefully being changed, but that's why you play in these types of tournaments, Crafters. These types of tournaments will get you to know these types of mistakes, will make you learn from them and improve them further on and on and on. As Resurge is trying to improve the standing right now of Rumble Bumblers, but it isn't going that well. Fancy getting blocked off by Redosin.
Oh, what a mistake! Oh, boy!
And that is clean as can be.
Oh, if Musty was in the chat himself, he'd be praising that one to high heaven. Radisson showing everyone how it's done. And Vitality 4-0. Right out of the gate. And that is a statement made to Rumble Bumblers who, you know, breezed through that series against Singularity and thought they might have a chance against a struggling Vitality, but the French boys, they're coming out swinging and they're looking to book themselves a place in the upper bracket.
I think they have really learned from that other series they played against Rumble Bumblers, and they just don't seem too excited to keep this up, or at least go do the same dance that they did last time around against Rumble Bumblers. They really just want to finish this tango off with a quick 1-2 into the net.
and make that a 1-2 with a 6-0 now, as Vitality find their stride. And the thing that I was thinking about for when we saw Vitality early, or when the times we've seen Vitality so far today, is that they haven't really been playing all that well as a team. Now they're starting to get their passing plays in, and they're starting to look very, very threatening. Here comes Vensi trying to just claw together something for Rumble Bumblers. But you would say that Vitality do look a little bit more complete than they did earlier on. Whether that's the quality of play of Rumble Bumblers declining, or if Vitality have stepped their game up, yet to see. But for me, Rumble Bumblers just can't seem to string any good plays together. It seems one person's going, and I know this is a pickup team, and we were mentioning it earlier, it looks like solo standard. It's certainly looking like solo standard now, or maybe even just 3 1v1s happening at the same time for Rumble Bumblers. 7-0 now.
But this is the type of results I expect from Vitality against a team like Rumble Bumblers. Let's be honest here, it's game 1, but it just as well could have been game 3. We could have been done, dusted, on our way to beds. I don't see this coming back from Rumble Bumblers. If this is the way they're going, Sheila may get a 1, but that is not even allowed either. It really is just as simple as Vitality knows what to do now and is actually playing together as a team.
11 goals now. They've scored a combined 11 goals in the previous 2 series. Looking to threaten that immediately in the first game of their final series of the day. Remember, both these teams will be playing in the playoff bracket on Saturday. It's just a question of which side of the bracket will they start in. Well, whoever wins will go into the upper bracket as seed number 2 and face seed 1 from Group B, who plays tomorrow. Loser of this one will go to seed 3 and start in the lower bracket. So it's essential that you get a win here, so you have that extra life come the playoff bracket on Saturday and Sunday. Vitality, a great start for them. Could be 8, won't be 8, it will be 7. And a statement made in the first game of the last game.
Definitely statement made. I think this is...
Sorry, I said first game of the last series of the day. That's what I meant. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Crafters. Yeah, it's hard for me, because normally I like to analyze things, go in depth, see what went wrong for a team. But there's not much to analyze if pretty much everything went against you.
Yeah, there's, I mean, just looking at the stats, I mean, you've got 17 shots from Vitality, only 5 from Rumble Bumblers. No more than 2 for any given member of the Rumble Bumblers team. It's just an absolute slaughtering. Like I said earlier, in Rocket League, you've got to have yourself a short memory, and Rumble Bumblers need to completely just forget that first game happened, move on with their lives, get on to the second game, because they've taken a game off Vitality already today. They know how to come out swinging. I'd like to see them just up the pace a little bit, because Vitality did, yes, they were working well, getting their passing plays going, but I think it was maybe just a little bit, the pace could have done with moving up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I think Rumble Bumblers, if they can get some pace behind them, some speed in their ability to go upfield, then that's when they're going to give Vitality a lot to think about. And Razier's will give K-Dub something to think about at the start of game number 2.
Quick rapid-fire question for you, Crafters. What's the one easy way to fix this type of gameplay, where one team is just that much dominanter, however you want to call it? English is hard sometimes, but it's just this dominant against you. How do you fix that as the other team?
Don't let them score. That's step 1.
That's probably one of them, but no.
Yeah,
Demos.
Step 1, don't let them score. And don't double commit like that. Yes, you get the save, but you've cleared out your defense. It's Razier's the one having to make the clear there. And I think, to answer your question seriously though, Spooks, for me, the possession was fully in Vitality's corner in the last game. So if Rumble Bumblers want a chance in this, they need to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. They can't give away easy chances, like put one pot shot onto the Vitality net, for example, and then retreat back. They have to keep the pressure on and keep this ball in their own in their own possession. I mean, look at there. You had interception in the middle of the field, and all of a sudden Venti has another chance on net, or at least to keep it threatening. Dawson does get that one away, but you see Rumble Bumblers sticking on the ball for a little bit longer, and they're not giving Vitality space to work with.
Well, I was in the short answer. I was going to say demos, but I like your answer as well.
Okay.
But I
Two
think
is the thinking. Two is the thinking. That's why you coach and I don't.
I think the easiest way to get past a team that's playing this solid and just isn't letting much through to just delete them. You can't defend if you aren't even playing on the same field right there, as there does come a demo, but it is not in favor of Rumble Bumblers, as they have to go back all the way towards their own half. Reserves not the touch you were looking for. Alpha back pass into the middle to Radosin, maybe a pass back to Alpha, but the connection isn't there. But at least one thing has been fixed for Rumble Bumblers in Game 2. They haven't conceded like 4 goals already.
That's true. They've held on. It's 0-0. Could be 1-0. That one doesn't fall the way of Schiller. But on your point as well, Spooks, with the demo plays, we know Rumble Bumblers are exceedingly good at those. I mentioned it earlier. You've got to time your demos well, and time your shots well as well. As Schiller almost got it past Alpha 54, but he was ready for it. Because just on that point as well, if you don't time your demos correctly, if you just go argy-bargy it, you might demo a Vitality player, or maybe a couple of Vitality players, but then you're not in a good position to make an attack on net. You have to be really smart with them, and that's what Rumble Bumblers, I would fully agree with you. I do think they should employ some more demo strategies. For now, they do need to get out of their own half. In the corner will be Radosin. Out towards the middle, K-Dop is there, but Razier's lovely interception over the top, but still in the possession of Vitality for the moment. Now Venti takes it on his car.
Venti with that patience, really taking the control, but Radosin blocking him off quite early on. Alpha with a good pass towards Radosin. Can the pass be found? It is found, but the ball just going a bit wide there, Crafters. Not what you like to see from Vitality, but what I do like to see is that they're looking for one another. They're trying to find each other, and they're actually getting passes to one another, as there's a demo from K-Dop onto Reserves. Probably doesn't want to deal with Reserves right now, as he has been so far during this tournament the most lethal on Rumble Bumblers.
He had a fantastic goal in Game 2 against Singularity. Can he pull out a worldie here? K-Dop in possession. No, Razier's actually just swipes it away from him. Now he'll take it for himself. Looking for boosties. He'll look at 13 in the tank. He'll have to get a call on a teammate. Does so. I think that was Schiller coming over the top. Now Venti towards net, off the backboard. Radosin will fire it back into the green half. Oh, chance here for Alpha 54. Oh, he had to turn it on net. He goes for the double tap instead, but that gave Rumble Bumblers the chance to position inside the goal. But the shot was not accurate from Alpha 54 nonetheless.
The last couple of seconds coming closer, and the seconds keep on ticking down. Rumble Bumblers is in the offensive half, but that ball will be denied, blocked off, and going all the way towards the orange side. Ball still stuck in an awkward position. Can the shot be found? No, blocked off once again. Reserves transitioning it over towards the orange side, and they really are trying to finish this off before the 0 seconds. This one goes into the air, but there's no shot to be found, and this one will be dropping down.
Overtime yet again for Vitality. Already had one today. They lost it 1-0. And Razier's put the second nail in the coffin. Yes, he can! 1 goal in overtime is all it's going to take. Rumble Bumblers tie up the series.
And that is not one I expected to see. I don't think you expected to see this either, did you, Crafters? Because Vitality looked that dominant in Game 1. And then to lose like that is not... It's not what you like to see. It's not what you expect to see.
Oh, really, it really wasn't. And it all came down to Razier's at the end of the day. We talked him up a little bit coming into this one. He was showing some signs of life. 4 shots from him in that game. But that carry from his own half was just spectacular. Let's look at that one again. No chance that K-Dop could make that touch. And Razier's, oh, he's going to be revered by his teammates for that one. Rumble Bumblers, just when they looked down and out, 7-0 in the first game. 1 goal is all it takes sometimes, Spooks, and they are back level par with Vitality.
And I said it before, I would not be surprised if this is another 3-1 victory for Vitality, but we still need to see who will be taking these next couple of games and who will be taking victory. Rados in good position right there, hits it up into the air. There should be a finish, but there's once again no one there to get it. It is so awkward right now as Rumble Bumblers tries to abuse that awkwardness from Fancy with the demo as well. That will create some space. Alpha 54 pinch for it once again, and Reserves now with the control and the patience.
Oh, and Fancy came barreling in like being shot out of a cannon. He was right there to make the assist with Raziers, but Vitality putting up their brick wall defense. Now Raziers again towards the backboard, dunk down. Here comes Fancy, and he just gets blocked away by Alpha 54. Vitality are now really starting to worry about their back line. They're being tested every step of the way. They weren't really tested all that much in game number 1. This time around in game 2 and in game number 3, this is where the pressure has really started to pile on. Here comes Fancy once again in the danger zone. But a Vitality player just gets themselves in front of it. And no immediate follow-up from Rumble Bumblers means that Vitality can just carry this one away from danger.
Verdosen goes on high, looking for the bump, but can't get it on Reserves. And I think Vitality has really learned that the second Reserves it has control and goes up, you have to be careful, because that man is lethal. And just like someone else is lethal, Alpha 54 opens up the score in game 3.
That he does, lovely off the backboard, and finds that top right corner. And that'll settle the nerves from Vitality just for the moment. Minute and a half in, and Rumble Bumblers, big demo in there from Vency to Radosin, but Braziers can't follow that up. Might open the door for K-Dop, and he does! Extends the lead to 2.
And a good goal coming out from K-Dop, and this is pretty much what we saw in game 1, isn't it, Crafters? We get 1 goal for Vitality, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open.
Can't let that happen. You cannot let Vitality start to run away with it, because they are masters of manipulating this scoreline. Rumble Bumblers really need to get one on the board right here, right now. Can't let a third in for Vitality. Here comes K-Dop towards the backboard. Here comes Alpha! And what a strike by the Frenchman!
I know earlier today we talked about some knocks on the door. I think Vitality has gotten a hammer and has just knocked the entire door down. The door is no longer there. I think it's just completely gone at this moment, Crafters.
Oh man, they held on to their bottle. Did Rumble Bumblers in game 2, but they might have bottled it here. Okay. Not even 2 minutes in. And Vitality showing their game 1 form again.
I'm getting a bit of deja vu right now. I feel like this is something we've seen before. I think we've had this play before, Crafters. I think I've seen this already, been to the movie, have seen the show, rated it quite alright, but it's still getting shown to me once again as K-Dub looking for a 5th. Can't do it alone. Maybe Alpha 54, but nope, not for him this time around either. Radosin still with boost as well. Reserves blocking him off, pushing it all the way towards the orange half once again, but nope. There is still someone in your path, and this ball gets pushed towards the green half once again. Just no goal from Radosin. I have no idea how he ended up backwards there, though.
I don't think Radosin even knows how he ended up backwards there. Oh, pinch by K-Dop and Alpha 54 as he came over the top. Would have been a spectacular fit. Nonetheless, Rumble Bumblers, Matt, they need to get something going fast. This time is ticking away. You don't want to go down 5-0. Certainly 4-0 is already a mountain enough to climb. Shilla has to get over to Raziers, does so, and he picks his point. Absolutely beautiful placement from Raziers.
And that is what you need if you are Rumble Bumblers. 2 minutes is enough time to get back into this, but I'm looking at Vitality. Did they maybe get a bit too confident there? I saw a couple of pinch attempts. I think you saw them as well. That's not what you want to see. You want to see them just fully finish out this game and be a bit of a bully in that sense. As Radosin opportunity not good enough. We'll have to try once again. Reserves blocking that first attempt of Alpha. Tries to do it once again with Radosin. Okay, I have a feeling that the vibes right now over on Vitality are quite good.
Oh, maybe not
Good
so
shot.
this time around. Braziers gets the pass into Schiller. And those good vibes you were talking about, Spooks, might have just been dashed a little bit. That's a beautiful setup by the German. Finds Schiller in the middle. And that's the shot of life that Rumble Bumblers really needed. A couple of quick enough goals. They've still got plenty of time left to make a game of this one. But you've got to feel they've got to score right here, right now. If they want a chance, that bump comes through, and Fancy finds the third.
I'm almost speechless. I will say almost, because Research just
What a bump!
fully bullies the defender. Just says, no, goodbye, go away, you will not save this ball. They still need one more, though. They need to get one, and if they can get that quite early on as well, it's gonna be such a thing, though. But I think this would be the first time I casted a 4-0, and they just come back into it.
Man, oh man. I've been around the block a few times on this. It's very rare that you see a 4-goal comeback like this in the second half of a game you feel that Rumble Bumblers would need to win if they want a chance at staying in the upper bracket for Saturday, or getting into the upper bracket, I should say. Braziers pops one over here, finds Fenzi. No follow-up from Rumble Bumblers. They're playing it a little bit safe. They don't want to give up a stupid goal to Vitality. Make it 5-3. It would be impossible with less than a minute to go then. Fenzi needs to win that against K-Dop. Does so. Over to Braziers on the left-hand side. 50 boosted tank. What has he got under the hood? Dawson reads his mind, though, and pops it back into the middle. Braziers now trying to play it up towards Sheila. Again, Vitality just playing the booming long clear game, and it's really putting a dampener on the Rumble Bumblers attack.
It really has been blocking them off, and with 20 seconds left, it is do or die right now for Rumble Bumblers. You don't want to go down and let Vitality get over onto that match point, and with 10 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be very hard to do so. Sheila pass onto Reserves, but he wasn't fully expecting it. Pass back towards Sheila once again, but K-Dop saw it coming, and Alpha will drop it down, but Fancy keeps it up into the air. It is still a possibility now. Sheila once again keeps it close to the wall. A good pass into the middle. K-Dop very smartly just lets it past him and drops it on down. Vitality's over on match point, but this got so much scarier than what it had to be.
Yeah, I mean, Vitality, you said earlier about how comfortable they looked in game one. They looked like they were cruising at the start of this game. But Rumble Bumblers just turning that dial a little bit, just piling on the pressure, squeezing the life out of Vitality. Oh, it did look really, really scary towards the end for the Frenchies, but Rumble Bumblers don't get it done. They just had too little time left on the clock. I mean, Vitality scored their fourth with 3 minutes left. It was scored four in less than 2 minutes. Bumblers couldn't score 4 in 3 minutes, and that was the difference maker there. Oh, what is going to happen in game 4? I really can't predict this, but what I can say for sure is that Vitality, all they need is one more win, but it's not going to come easy against these Rumble Bumblers, who have just been a delight to watch all day, Spooks. They have a chance to bag themselves a place in the upper bracket, but they've got to go through the powerhouse of France.
I was going to say, so far for Vitality, I have a feeling they have to just sleep with one eye open right now, as Rumble Bumblers just is never gonna give them an easy time. You think you're fast, you think you're true, and boom, they're right on you once again, but they still need to find that opening goal. You don't want to go down one early on like you've had in the last couple of games. That's Fancy. Control passes in into the middle. That's what you like to see, but Reserves can't make use of it. Alpha tries to do it alone this time around. Shilak does get a good touch over onto Fancy, but the 50s are favoring Vitality right now.
I think they've been favoring Vitality for the majority of this series. Rumble Bumblers have been great winning the ball in space. Here comes Schiller. Oh, finds the top corner. Doesn't bounce in for him, though. I think Vitality had a hand on that. K-Dop was there to make the block. Down to Radosin in the corner. Now up the corner. Alpha 54 comes in here. And it's just a back and forth game of cat and mouse. Who is going to be the first to blink? Vency. Lovely dribble round K-Dop. Now has to get around the rest of Vitality. That's a tall order. Won't be able to. K-Dop in the middle. Now dribbles, 15 boost and counting down, and he almost puts it in. Vency almost puts it in for him, but Radolson comes in and cleans things up.
I almost thought Vency had it. I almost thought he saved this ball last minute. But no, the final time, when I have been asking for it for so long, a second man was ready to jump onto it, ready to get that goal. But so is Vency right now in the 1v1 over against Radolson, but Radolson ready in the defense.
Vitality look ready, willing and able to move on in this tournament to the upper bracket. The Rumble Bumblers, they're going to keep tightening the screws on this Vitality defense. Vitality, they've got the end of the hammer, try to pull those screws away. Razier's now from the ceiling. Let's see what he's made of. 39 boost, not enough to get past the flying Radolson. Now Alpha into the corner. Coming up for halfway through this crucial game number 4. Rumble Bumblers still need one to get on the board. Put some real pressure on Vitality. Alpha in the corner. Doesn't get it through to anyone really. Now Radolson will just lay it into space. Here comes K-Dop. Finds Alpha. Has a pretty empty net. They follow up from K-Dop. His top bends. And that's 2 for Vitality.
But we've been in this position before. We have seen it happen before where we see Vitality take that lead. I mean, we saw it last game even where Vitality took a good lead and then lost it, especially those last 2 minutes. But it needs to be really now for Rumble Bumblers to get back into this match. You cannot allow a third goal to go in for Vitality because that just makes things even harder than it already is. As Reserves tries to his best to just flip reset his way past the defense, but he's unable to do so. Sheila takes the ball high. Still blocks off by Vitality, and I think that's one of the big difference makers so far from Vitality, is that whenever someone tries to take control over on Rumble Bumblers, they get challenged.
That they do. Here comes Vency, try to drop this one down. Raziers was flying in. Vitality, he's got Alpha 54 in a disrupting position. He goes for a bump and maybe a demo, but the ball was right back in the hands of the green players. Vency, Sheila now waiting for this to drop down. Tries to barrel it through. It's on the goal line and trickles in. Minute 28 left. Rumble Bumblers have a chance.
That is the most unfortunate but also funny way for this ball that it could have gone in.
Alpha.
Poor Alpha. That's all I have to say. Poor Alpha.
Poor Alpha, indeed. But you gotta give credit to Vency for just sticking with that one. Here comes Sheila. Oh, we know how quick Bumblers can score and maybe even level this one up. It's all going to come down to if Bumblers can hold on to this ball, keep possession for themselves, and put a couple of decent quality chances towards the Vitality net. They've only got about 65 seconds left to do so. Vency over to Sheila. Needs to get out of that corner, but K-Dop is going to be so willing to pressure and make sure that Bumblers don't move out of their own half. Maybe Radolson, maybe Alpha getting a third, but good save by Sheila.
Not allowing them this time around to get that third, but it's still Vitality into the offense. But nothing gets really made that time around. They aren't looking as good this time around. Maybe they just want to keep that 1 goal lead as Radolson pushes the ball back forth once again. It's Vency with the control, gets challenged really early on once again. Sheila has to be quick, can't give Kato too much time. Reserves shot on target, but Alpha 54 drops on down, still getting the save and getting the transition away from his own defense. Kato hitting it high once again. Reserves onto Sheila, and the seconds keep on ticking down.
Sheila to Razier's top corner, off the bar. Vency is there in the box. Can he get something over to Sheila? No, he gets demoed away. K-Dop, all he needs to do is dribble this one down and touch it to the floor. Oh, now Alpha. Here comes Razier's, keeps this ball high. It's still there. Radolson now, just slam it to the floor, Vitality, and you've won the series. K-Dop now does get the final touch. And Vitality walk away with a victory. We'll see them on Saturday, and they'll be in the upper bracket.
walk away. I feel like this was more for running away. They really tried to get away
Woo!
from Rumble Bumblers. They did not want this to go to overtime at all. They wanted to finish it right there. They were looking a bit shaky there at the end, almost, I would say.
Man, I mean, Rumble Bumblers, they did put the pressure on squarely onto the shoulders of Vitality. But I think for me, it was just too little, too late. And I mean, that one goal that we see there from Schiller, it's kind of, you would say it's lucky enough that they bounced in to give them a chance towards the end. But Rumble Bumblers, you've got to see that intensity from them for the full 5 minutes. They can't pull it out when they're only, when you know they're 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 down, what have you. We've got to see that intensity from them the whole game through. And I think that is the one thing that I would change about them. Yes, Raziers is great. I mean, I know this is going to be high praise for me onto Raziers, but there's a touch of the Seiko about Raziers a little bit. Like, I praise Seiko because the first time I ever saw Seiko play, he was getting, you know, these extra touches that you don't really expect anyone to get. I'm seeing that from Raziers. I think that obviously the difference is that Seiko can do it really, really consistently. And he was, you know, until, well, I know he's on a good team now with BDS, but even on endpoint, he's got the players around him to make the rest of the game just flow a little bit better. But Raziers, man, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. I'm excited to watch him play on Saturday, Spooks.
I'm excited as well. He looks really, really lethal. But then again, like you've hinted at, and we've hinted at the entire day, the reason why he also looks that good and that lethal is because his team is set up to allow him to push forward as much, allow him to shine through a lot of these moments. But you said, I want to see this team just give us the full of it for the full 5 minutes. That's going to be a bit hard, I believe, for this team. As this, I feel like this is a bit of the team that's like, oh, we fight for 2 minutes. Oh, yeah, we have to win this. And then they start playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is a bit of a, you know, unsustainable playstyle that they have, but I reckon if they could potentially pull that off for the full 5 minutes, that is going to be one hell of a roster to contend with as the week goes on. But let's have a look at the bracket, see how everything played out today. As you can see, Su beat out Vitality in the upper final. They'll be the #1 seed from Group A. Vitality getting through to the 2nd seed against Rumble Bumblers, excuse me, who will be the 3rd seed. Unfortunately, Singularity dropping out after being reverse swept by Su, and then it being fully swept by Rumble Bumblers. Let's take a look how this fills out the playoff bracket for Saturday. This kicks off after our Pool B games tomorrow. As you can see, Su and Vitality in that upper bracket already. They only have a few games to play to get to that grand final, whereas Rumble Bumblers need to make the full lower bracket run if they want a chance at that €15,000 prize pool. And it will that 15 grand only goes to the winners of this tournament, Spooks.
It is quite a harsh tournament, and it's gonna be a long path for Rumble Bumblers, but let's take a quite little look at Group B to see what's going on there as well for tomorrow, I think.
This is spicy. I'm liking this group already.
This is an interesting group. Semper Esports, Mustaflu, Carmine Corp, and FC Multiculti. I think this is a really good group. Carmine Corp and Semper, of course, the known teams. But if you've been in the bubble scene before, Mustaflu is a name that should ring a lot of bells.
Yeah, Matt's Gray, Mads, and Creamy playing on Mushy Flock. And for FC Multiculti, we'll see PK Justice, who's a big name in the 1v1 scene, and Patrick's on that roster. But of course, the big boys, Semper and Carmine Corp. We'll talk a little bit more about them and their roster changes. But that is going to be it from today. We'll see you for that group tomorrow. This has been one heck of a day to kick off the Dacia Spring Electric here on the Rocket RB. And of course, we're brought to you by the Dacia Spring Electric, the Dacia Spring Electric vehicle, the 100% electric car from Dacia. Great, affordable, first electrical car, affordable for all, and the cheapest urban car on the market. Winner of Couple Awards, the Best Buy Car of Europe 2022, and good deal. And it is a good deal that you're going to join us tomorrow. Join myself, join Spooks, join Jam, join Relic, and join us all here on the Rocket RB. Same time, same place tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then.